Hello, welcome to the Jessica Brimer channel. I'm Evangelist Just Brimer. Thank you so much for joining me now. I'd like to share my thoughts on the trending audio, leaked audio conversation between Bishop Oyedepo and President Peter Obi. Yes, President Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. The leaked audio has got so much attention and so many people are really talking about it. I'm surprised about the attention it's got because that's exactly what the propagandists, the APC propagandists set out to do. To distract us once again. That's what they have set out to do, to distract us as usual. Because I listened to the audio. Even though Peter Obi has come out to say that it was not him in the audio, he was not the one speaking in the audio, that is APC propaganda and all that. But let's just for once say it's probably Peter Obi and Bishop Oyedepo having a conversation. There's nothing wrong with the conversation in that leaked audio. Nothing absolutely wrong in Peter Obi saying, "Hello, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. I appreciate your support." And then Oyedepo purportedly said to him, "What's the problem? Is everything okay?" And he said, "Well, we are not sure of Kogi and Niger and one other state." So Labour Party was sure of the other states. It's only Kogi, Niger, and one other state. Was it Bauchi? He mentioned the states. So just 3 states. So if Peter Obi said that, honestly, I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong in Oyedepo supporting Peter Obi. There's absolutely nothing wrong in it. There was a video when Tinubu was campaigning for election. There was a video of Tinubu visiting the Sultan of Sokoto with President Muhammad Buhari. And Tinubu said to him, "Well, you have no choice than support us because you can't have the president sitting on your right-hand side and all these elders or Muslim elders here and you don't support us." And it was taken for granted that the Sultan of Sokoto supported Tinubu, especially because of the Muslim ticket. Nobody raised an eyebrow about it. They say, Peter Obi said in the audio, this is a religious war. Of course, we've been in a religious war since the day Muhammad Buhari was sworn in as president of Nigeria. He released the Muslims against the Christians in northern Nigeria. They started slaughtering the Christians of southern Kaduna and all that. And the thing is, he made no pretense about it when they slaughtered 67 people in one day in Benue State. The governor of Benue State ran to Buhari and said, "Look, they are slaughtering my people, help us." Buhari just said, "Please go home and live at peace with your neighbors." That was all Buhari said. The Islamic militants released all over Nigeria, southern Nigeria, western Nigeria, killing people. Sunday Igboho had to raise a voice and say, "Look, you're bringing these people to slaughter us in our farms, slaughter Yorubas in their homes. No, we can't have this." Nobody thought that was a religious war. We've been having religious war. So why are you accusing Peter Obi of starting a religious war? What's going on in Lagos State now is religious war plus. Because the Igbos that are being slaughtered in Lagos because they are Igbos, they are Christians. They are Christians being slaughtered by Tinubu and his co-Islamic militants, MC Olomo and all of them. So nobody should accuse, excuse me, nobody should accuse Peter Obi of starting a religious war. It's just the APC propaganda. I saw a video of a man boasting, "Oh, now it's propaganda. We're going to use propaganda. We have already won the election. We're going to use propaganda against them." Okay, sir, you've won the election. Why do you need propaganda? You know you haven't won any election and you haven't won the peace. That's why you feel you should use propaganda. Make no mistake about it. The war you're starting in Lagos State and then all over Nigeria is a war of Yoruba elites versus Tinubu's hoodlums. That's what the war is all about. The obedient movement was highly supported and publicized by Yoruba elites. The Yoruba elites who are intelligent enough to know that the APC government has nothing good for Nigerians. They enlighten people. They want good roads. They want security. Security, they don't want militants and killers and murderers taking over the whole land. They don't want that. And they know that since the APC government has given us 8 years of misery, 8 years of insecurity, 8 years of terrorism, they know that APC government are not ready to solve the problem. So they decided they must support the obedient movement. It was Yorubas that introduced me to obedient movement and said, hey, take a look at this. I'm like, no, I'm not interested in Nigerian politics because they always rig elections. So why waste my time on people whose lifestyle is rigging election? They say, no, this obedient movement is different. The young men that were slaughtered at EdStars and those that survived, it's their spirit that's crying out against the killers. That they are the ones that started the obedient movement. It's not an Igbo people movement. It's not. It's not. So nobody should allow Tinubu's propagandists to distract us at all. Nobody should allow them. They are killing Yoruba Igbos in Lagos. By the time they finish with Igbos, they descend on the Christians. By the time they finish with Christians, they descend on the Yoruba elites that don't want anything to do with Tinubu. They rejected Tinubu. So all this deceit, all this propaganda that is going on now, Obi is starting a religious war, it's an IPOP movement. No. Don't allow anybody distract you. Remember what the Bible says. It says, if you fail in the day of adversity, then your strength is small. The adversity is here. We cannot fail. Because righteousness exalts a nation, but sin brings reproach. The sin of election rigging has brought so much reproach to Nigeria. Foreign observers said this is the crudest form of election rigging. It was so crude because it was done by crude, primitive, unintelligent, uneducated people. They did it. They are the foot soldiers that did it for them. No enlightened Nigerian, no educated Nigerian would do that, except probably Mahmoud, the INEC chairman, that compromised big time. So, but every other person that is fighting for them, they're just the people they refuse to educate, the people they refuse to give good education, the people they want to remain as alberos and hoodlums who don't know any better. Those are the ones they use. Those are the ones the APC and Tinubu are using to cause this violence and all manner of confusion in the country. The educated people are watching them. They started by saying, oh, obedient supporters, they are very violent. They are too violent on social media. But who turned out to be the violent one? The supporters of Tinubu. Tinubu and his supporters were brazen about their violence and they boasted about it. They were on television. They were everywhere on social media saying, if you don't vote for us, we will kill you. And they actually killed. They amputated so many people. Mom is busy. Yes, mom is busy. Go on. Yeah, go and use it. Good girl. Later, mom is busy. Some ended up being amputated by Tinubu's foot soldiers just because they wanted to vote the candidate of their choice. The campaign was so much saying, get your PVC, get your PVC. All the young men that survived the SARS, the killings that happened at the Lekki toll gate, all the young men that have been jobless for years in Nigeria decided that, yes, let me get my PVC. And they all voted. The elites voted, who have had enough of crude, primitive, unenlightened, evil men ruling Nigeria. They said, we've had enough. At least we have hope now that Nigeria can be changed. Before Mahmoud, one man called Mahmoud, decided to dash our hopes into pieces. He dashed into pieces. It's broken so many hearts. And now the people that stole the election think that the way they can sustain is through propaganda. I saw a video of a young man saying, don't worry, we've started the propaganda. We will show them how to do it. If they say Tinubu is a drug baron, we should also shout and say that Obi is a drug baron. If they say that that Tinubu is Boko Haram, if they say Shetima is Boko Haram, we should also say Obi is IPOP. Obi is IPOP. Who is fooling who? No sane Nigerian believes you. You are the only ones that believe yourselves. Nigerians are not foolish. You may be foolish. Remember the conference they had by the Izala movement in the north. When Tinubu was running, they said, we must support Muslim ticket because those are the people that will uphold Islam in this country. Nobody accused them of Islam, of starting a religious war. It's Peter Obi. They've looked for so many things to use to tempt him. They couldn't find any. So it's Peter Obi that is now the one that is starting the religious war. Please, can somebody just tell these people that we are all smarter than that?